And we're live. We're live. We're live on the YouTubes. Okay. So this is another live stream. I'm sure if you subscribe to my channel, you've probably watched me doing a few live streams in the past. This is something that I try and do at least once a week. And what I do is just talk about various things on the news and various things I've been doing, and a lot of the discussions are guided through what subscribers say. So, you know, this is all about interaction. So if you see me online talking, please do leave a comment, say hello, tell me what you're doing. That's what I'll be doing in this video. So there are a few things I want to talk about in this video. I will be talking about phones. I will be talking about some things that have happened with my phone and with phone news and that as well. I talked about my phone a few days ago, and I spoke about upgrading to Android Oreo. So this is something I covered in a video the other day, but I wanted to give an update. I upgraded my HTC U11 to Android 8.0, which they're calling Oreo, and I ran into a huge number of problems. Well, the main one being battery. That was the main problem. So when I upgraded my phone the other day, I went to 8.0. I think I upgraded a week or so ago. And it took me a day or so to realise I hadn't really been paying attention, but the battery life really started dropping. Like, battery life was horrendous. You know, and I was putting my phone to, you know, overnight. I don't really charge my phone overnight because the battery's so good. It only drops 4 or 5%. But I was putting my phone to, you know, going to sleep and then waking up in the morning, and my phone had gone from like 55% to 0. But it actually seems like it might be okay now. When I looked into this closely, I found out that one of the main problems was that the battery drainage was coming from mobile standby. I don't know why, but it was like at 55-60%. I don't know why, but it's actually down to like 3-4% now. So I don't know why it's kind of tailored off. I don't know why it's working now. I'm going to have to keep tracking battery life on paper, at least, going by what the stats are saying. It seems to be a little bit better than it was before. Go figure. But I'll check that out. What's happening here? What's happening? Right, okay. That's not good. The pop-out chat thing there. When I stream live, I can pop out the chat box so that I can move it around, and it just died. That's not good. So if you're watching, do say hello. Do tell me what you're doing. Do say something. Yeah, so the issue with my phone, I'm going to keep checking it, but it seems to be a little bit better. The big news this week, it appears to be, let me see, this button. There we go. I don't know if you guys have been watching this. Like, there's a lot of things in the news today about this, where Elon Musk has sent a rocket to space, and it was advertising his well, they had that, did they not strap a Tesla car or something like that to it? Let's check this out. There it's there. This is the picture that's been sent all around Twitter today. I mean, talk about good advertising. You're not going to get much better advertising than that. But I think this is just like an artist impression of what's going to be happening. It's quite interesting him doing this, though. You know, that it's kind of mad. This is the kind of thing that Richard Branson used to always do in the past. You know, he used to always, you know, fly balloons and do all these kind of publicity stunts, but it looks like he's maybe taken over the mantle for that, and he's going to I mean, it's kind of insane what he's doing. It's I mean, I don't know how I don't seem to have time to do anything. This guy's launching rockets, launching car companies, doing the lot. I don't know. The other thing, I saw today, Matt Bryan's at Engadget. I think he's one of the main Engadget UK guys. And he posted about this today. The budget UK Android phone maker Wiley Fox has entered administration. And then it said the old PR company, they told me that they hadn't been paying them. So they had been paying the public relations company for quite a few months. Invoices are outstanding. For those of you who don't know, Wiley Fox was a phone company. They sold really cheap phones and basically kind of the same price as a Chinese phone, but they were selling it in the UK and Europe. And they sold through Amazon. And, you know, the phones were actually quite good. For the price, anyway, they were quite good. I never had one myself, but I did check them out. You know, the Swift and the Storm. The Swift was one of the most popular ones. £129 there. Yeah, and it used Cyanogen. So it's like a modded version of Android. I think it had a lot of fans. God, sorry, I'm not even showing you that, guys. I do apologise. I thought I'd switched over to that. So just to show you the tweet. Sorry. One of those days. This is a tweet I was talking about from Matt Bryan. So he's saying that Wiley Fox has went into administration. Let's see. Now he made a comment that small margins equals small profits. I mean, I don't know if that was the reason or not. I don't know. I mean, I suspect their margins were very thin. If they spend a lot of money on advertising, they're still paying tax. If you take a phone that's £129, you know, obviously they've got VAT off of that. They need to pay for advertising, things like that as well. They need to pay their staff. They need to actually buy the product. So I don't know. Maybe they were operating on something like £10, £11, £12, £20 per profit per phone. I'm not sure. I don't know the ins and outs. You know, what targets phone companies aim for when they're releasing a phone. But it looks like they've made some mistakes anyway. And they've gone into administration. One of those things, one of those things. I think my watch is charged. 100%, baby. Back in the game. Yeah, so it's one of those things. I said the other day that I think it would be good to have more competition in the phone market. But clearly, you know, it's quite competitive. What I said the other day was it would be good if there was a couple of Chinese manufacturers that maybe entered the market. You know, maybe followed OnePlus's example and entered the European market, the Western market. But clearly it's a risky affair. It clearly is a risky affair as far as the money they're investing into each project. I mean, I don't know. There must be a way for companies to make money from phones. You know, taking phones from China and selling them to the UK, to Europe, to the USA, and offering support. If you saw companies like Vivo's a different make. You've got Blue, who are doing it in America. But I don't know. Anyway, what's been happening with you guys? I am talking funny today because I've got the cold, which is why I'm going to have one of these. Yeah, I've been feeling like crap the last few days. So, where are we? There's something else I was going to say. The other thing I was going to maybe look at, I've not really bought many things from China recently, and what I normally do is buy some random things from China that I need, or I think they'll be good to review, and it's not something I've done in a while. I haven't actually been following what's been happening I was going to say across the pond, across the land, more like for China. You know, like websites like GearBest and AliExpress and all that. There's certain things there that are really, really cheap. I really need to get out. I keep saying this, but I really need to get out and start using my GoPro 6. I've just not been using it, and I feel like I've wasted my money if I don't use it. In hindsight, I shouldn't have bought it. I should have got a really cheap Chinese one for all I've used it. But one of the things I've been looking at recently, like if I need anything, one of the things I've thought about is tablets. You know, I don't have a tablet anymore. I gave away my last tablet because I wasn't using it, but I think the reason being that tablet had quite a small screen. It wasn't big enough because I've got a 5.5 inch, you know, screen on my phone. I think it was 7 or 8 inches, that tablet. I think if I got a really big 10 or 11 inch tablet, I would use it more. But some of the ones coming out from China, I mean, I think with they look okay price wise, but I think they'll be cutting corners. The battery, the mics are probably bad. the cameras are probably bad as well. 2 gig of RAM, that sucks. Could always go down the second hand route. Could always go down that route. So what's happening to you guys anyway? Say hello. Say evil. Say evil. Hey evil. Good to hear from you. I'm sooking a whole soother. Here I am, dying with the cold. Yeah, I've just been looking at what's on. I check the Chinese websites every now and then to see if there's any kind of bargains for anything that's. I've not bought anything from there for a while though. You sub to tech tablets. You know what? I'll need to go and check that. I might be. Whenever I find a decent technology channel, I tend to subscribe to it. The problem is though, like with YouTube, it's quite, you know, the way that they're unless you go to your actual subscriber page and the page where all your subscription videos are shown, on the home page it doesn't actually show as many videos as it should. I mean, there's a lot of channels I subscribe to, but when I click on the home page of YouTube, it just doesn't show you the videos. You have to go to the subscriber page. Tech tablets. And the answer is yes. Apparently I am. Apparently I am subscribed. So so that one, they just focus on, well, you can see it here, I suppose, the Mi Notebook Air, Chewie's Surfbook Mini Review. I'd like to, I really should start maybe just investing money and just maybe buying some of these and seeing what they're like. The Redmi 5. Yeah, I've watched some of these videos before. It's a good channel. I like this. iPad Mini 4. So there's one, AlphaWise. AlphaWise tab. So I'm going to see it. Let's see if that's on GearBest. See. £152. Is that the one they've got? $159 probably is. Free shipping. That's another thing. I've noticed that with a lot of the stuff from China. If you look at the phones and all that, they've all got Android 6.0. And from a security point of view, I suspect, you know, like every version of Android that comes out, they add security updates and all that, but I suspect the older versions of Android will be more susceptible to, you know, hacks and things like that. Android, well, like, when was Android 6.0? That's quite a while ago, isn't it? Android 6.0. $2015. So talking 2016, probably when it started coming out. 2 years ago. The guy is a no-nonsense. I assume you meant a no-nonsense approach there. If it's crap, it's crap. Yeah, that's good. There's a lot of reviewers. I mean, I've seen this in the blogging world as well. People, you know, if they're sent something for free, they'll just say it's amazing just because they got it sent for free. Because, you know, maybe they're so happy with getting it for free. I've made a lot of people unhappy in the past because they've sent me something for review and then I've given it a terrible review. I think I got hacked because of that. There was I think it was a Chinese or a Russian company, and they paid for a review of their dating website product thing, and I reviewed it on my website, and then I reviewed it and said it was the biggest pile of crap ever, and they'd paid me money, they wanted a refund, and I says no, and they says we'll take the review down. I was like, no. And then I got hacked. I got I got DDoSed. Well, as far as whether a tablet needs Android 6.0 or not, how does it work with new apps? Like, does an app say has to be Android 6.0 and above, or does it still work with all the older versions? I'm not sure about that, actually. It's not something I've ever really thought about because my device has always got the latest version or one of the latest versions. I'm trying not to eat this soda into the microphone. As far as that tablet goes, though, I mean, I need to do some more research into tablets, but as far as that one goes, Android 6.0, 7.9 inch screen, 4 GB of RAM. See, the Mi, I'd maybe go with something like the Mi Pad, but I assume that's a lot more expensive. Battery 6200. It looks fairly decent though, you know, as build quality wise, it does look okay. I mean, what was that one, the Mi Pad? So you've not seen any apps that need a certain version of Android, right? Yeah, it's not something I've looked into. There's the Mi Pad, right? So they're saying it's better than the Mi Pad because the Mi Pad is $275. The Mi Pad 2 is cheaper. It's one of those things, I don't know if I really need a tablet anyway, but I just think a lot of the time if I'm sitting on the couch or if I'm sitting in bed, I'm using my phone, whereas I could use a tablet, you know, for browsing the web, for live streaming and stuff like that as well. I could probably use a tablet, but I would need a decent webcam. Yeah, I don't know. T-Class tabs, or T-Class tabs. So are they Chinese as well, Evo? T-Class tab. Oh, sorry, I'll just put in T-Class, see what comes up. I'm putting tabs, obviously you're using that for an abbreviation for tablets. X80. That's the thing, you know, like, I've saw some cool Windows ones out there, but obviously, you know, for a small device, unless it was really powerful, I'd probably, you know, move towards an Android tablet instead. The T8 P10. I think I looked at this one earlier. £95, so under £100. I think I saw this one. This is the one with 2 GB. Yeah, this is the one I looked at earlier. 2 GB of RAM. 2 GB of RAM seems really low nowadays, doesn't it? I think I'd want 4 GB. God, there's an all-in-one computer. 319. I'm surprised they're selling those. Like to ship worldwide. The shipping can't be cheap for that. Computers there as well. I've seen a lot more laptops coming out from China as well, though. I remember when I first started going over to Asia, I remember, you know, you used to go to the big tech centre in Bangkok or, you know, Japan or whatever, and they would sell all these really, really cool laptops that you don't get anywhere else. But it was always a keyboard was, even the ones that were QWERTY, where like all these crazy Thai or Japanese symbols on them. So you're, there. I think one of my friends bought one when he was abroad. I think he bought a laptop when he was away. I don't know if Carty did. Yeah, but you're obviously you're saving money, but you're taking a bit of a chance as well. What's kind of surprising though, like see with the whole Chinese market is there's not like a store in the UK that just resells them, just like a UK specific store. The one, can you guys remember Dynamism? Can you remember that store? I used to love that store. I think I bought one or two things from there. They used to always send was it Dynamism? I'm sure. I think I've got it. They used to sell like Japanese laptops and things like that. Right, I think this is the same website. I'll show you what I'm looking at. I think this is the same website, but they've just changed it and now they just sell 3D scanners. They used to sell really, really cool Japanese laptops and you know, they used to sell that little what was it, the P5, the little 5-inch Windows portable computer. I always wanted those. I never bought one, but I was very close to buying one a few times. But there doesn't seem to be any stores like that in the UK anymore that just, you know, exclusively sell unique things from China or Japan. I don't know if as far as how do you pronounce it? Is it Xiaomi? Xiaomi? I don't know. Yeah, I'm surprised that they haven't opened any stores here. I think, does Huawei have any stores here in the UK? I don't know if, or in Europe, because Huawei is, you know, is a major brand now. You know, since like when I had the Google Nexus 6P, it was a quality phone, and all the phones, you know, they've come out with in the last few years has been pretty good. And the one that they're all talking about is that the Huawei 10. So this is one of the latest ones from Huawei Mate 10 Pro, I think. Is this the one that the reviews have been out this week? I mean, I was always happy with it, the Nexus 6P. Hey Lewis. Yeah, it's pretty cold. I think when I was out in my car earlier, I went down to the gym, and I think it was -2 degrees. Yeah. I mean the snow and all the rooftops and all that. It's not too bad though. It's not. It doesn't look too bad. Yeah, I looked at one of the I looked at one of the reviews of the Mate 10 Pro. They seem to be all quite positive. What's the price though? That's something I've not checked. Right, let's see. Price. Right, let's check Carphone Warehouse. Use them as the benchmark. In stock, SIM free, 529. Good price. 128. Okay, specs. Let's look at the specs. Dual lens camera. Yeah, I need to look at some reviews of this because I've not really been paying attention. 20 megapixels, 12 megapixels. Specification summary. Audio 2.4. Right, oh there it's there. Full specs. 4000 milliamp battery. That's very good. Right, these specs are kind of... You really do need to go to GSM Arena or something, don't you? GSM Arena, there we go. Looks like a good phone. That's a fairly good price. That's a decent price. So the reviews all pretty positive. I saw one review and the guy was raving about it. But I think see there, 6 inches, 10. I'm quite happy with the fact they went with a 1080p screen, because if you use that with a 4000 milliamp battery, that should transfer into like maybe a 2-day battery, or one with heavy usage. I really want a replaceable battery now in a phone. I really do. So that I can just swap over batteries during the daytime. There's just no phones with a replaceable battery. It looks like all the reviews are fairly positive anyway. You can't expand the storage and there's no headphone jack. So I think I'm going to just hold back now and see what the Samsung S9 is going to be like. I know, Evo. I know the battery. I know the battery is a thing of the past. It's annoying that it is though, because what they've done is go backwards in functionality so that they can make more money. Like, I'm not going to say that water resistance and dust resistance isn't a good thing, but it's not that important. Not as important as they're making it out to be. Like, and all the time, I mean, I've had phones since 1999 or something. I've never dropped a phone in water. And even if you go back, you know, to phones 20 years ago, if you dropped them in water, as long as you picked them out quick enough and then just put them in rice or whatever, they still worked. I mean, really, like, is this the excuse that they're using? Slimmer and all that. Give me a little bit thicker, bigger battery that you can replace. Bring back the batteries, man. Bring back the batteries. I think it's only there's probably a few mid-range phones that have a replaceable battery, but in fact, let's do some research. Mobile phone replaceable battery. Best Android phones with a removable battery. Right, this could be very old. See what it says. So this was August last year. Right, the V20. Yeah, someone was telling me about this. The V20 has a replaceable battery, but at this point, I mean, the V30 is already out as well. And the V30, they took the battery away. So that's a little bit annoying. God damn ads. G5, again, God, that's 2016. The V10, they're nearly all LG here, aren't they? Okay, they are all LG. I don't think the LG G6 had a replaceable battery. So I think they've went down that route as well. Yeah, I don't think it'd be easy to replace a waterproof battery. But, I mean, I don't know. I mean, there must be some way around it. I like the other way to go though. Oh, this doesn't fix the problem, but I'll maybe keep tabs on the Motorola phones. You know, the Moto Mods. They released a couple of new ones recently. Let me see, news. Well, where are it? There was some. There, I saw this the other day. The Moto Mod. So they're coming out with a case, a Moto Mod that comes with a keyboard. I thought that was pretty cool. And, you know, there's a lot of different mods. There's one that's a projector. There's one that's a camera. There's like 3 that are batteries and speakers. And you can just pick whatever one suits you. But I like this idea. I like the idea of a slide out keyboard. It's not something I've seen in a phone in a long time. Quite a good idea. I think it gives you extra battery as well. Basically looks like an old Scion tablet or something, doesn't it? See that kind of design of phone though, that was something that was huge in the USA and never really picked up in the UK. I remember when I went to the USA, I went to the USA in 2005 and I had it was basically before the iPhone and all that, but it was like a tablet where it had a stylus. It was a phone, but it was, you know, a tablet style. And it wasn't like what do you call the touch screen? I get mixed up with them, capacitive or whatever, but it was the one that you have to kind of press down. So for me to dial, I was using a stylus to press the buttons down. But everyone there either had a flip phone or they had a slide out phone like that with a keyboard. The interesting thing though is that hardly anyone in the USA texted at the time. Like Like at the time, everyone in the UK was everyone text to the point where people weren't even calling anymore. But over there, it just wasn't a thing. I don't know. It's just kind of weird how the markets were going in a different direction at that time. $395. Yeah, I won't be buying that. I think I would just buy another phone. But the Moto mods, I do like the idea of the Moto mods. Okay, I'll go to, it was the UK one. In fact, that's, I don't know what that. They're releasing a few new ones anyway. Yeah, like the DS, like is that resistive and the new one's a capacitive? I always get them mixed up. Xenon Flash. Yeah, so they've got like speakers. There's the JBL Sound Boost 1 and 2. There's a power pack. Z2 Force. Look at that. Look how expensive that. You'll get that cheaper right enough. Yeah, there's a 360 camera, Insta Share printer. That one, like £79 for a game. That's way too much. You can buy a 2DS at that price. That's way too much for that. That should be like £40. Right, okay. Turbo power pack, fine. Insta Share projector. That one, I mean, I've seen some reviews of that, and they're not that positive. Well, yeah, that's the thing with these mods. A lot of them are overpriced. I mean, the gamepad thing, you could just buy a gaming tablet at that price, or you could buy, you know, like one of the controllers that attaches or something. Smart speaker. I've still not caught on to this whole Alexa thing. I really don't see the appeal at this point. The Z2, it doesn't cost that. I mean, don't get me wrong though. I do like that Motorola are doing something different. They are doing something different than what other manufacturers are doing. If you look at what, you know, HTC and Samsung and all these other, like specs wise, features wise, there's not a lot between them nowadays. You know what I mean? There's, you know, maybe the HTC U11 had the gimmick of squeezing, but they're all taking away the headphone jack and all that. That's the one thing I hope the Samsung phone doesn't do. I hope it keeps the headphone jack. We'll see though. We'll see what happens. I hate when you get the cold, you just talk funny. The good news is the battery, I mentioned this at the start of the stream, I think the battery in my HTC U11 is slightly better now. I was checking it in the usage, it was the mobile network standby, was at like 50-60% for a few days. Well, for more than a few days, maybe like a week, but it seems to be like at 4% now. I don't know why it's changed though. I don't know why it was high and I don't know why it's down. I think battery life is still poor, but it's not as bad as it was. For a week it was just ridiculous how much battery was being drained. Look at it. I was just looking on GearBest there. Look at this. Retro 620 video game console. That's tremendous. Family computer system. That's like the old. That's like the old Mega Drive Atari 6. You know, the Commodore 64 connection, isn't it? That's what that looks like. Yeah, that's the old classic connection. That's what you would get with the Commodore 64, the Mega Drive, the Atari, Sega Master System, and all that. Yeah, that looks like they've just put. Is that an S? Basically, they've just added an S, isn't it? You know what? See if those are original, well, retro NES games on it. That wouldn't actually be that bad a purchase, as long as the controllers work okay. Assuming these are the games that you're going to get, it looks like they've just put hundreds of NES games on It's kind of mad. Do I use data in the house? Mobile phone data, are you talking about, Evo? I don't need to in the house, obviously, because it connects to Wi-Fi. The only time it really defaults to data is when my internet connection goes down, and that's worrying. I don't like the fact that it doesn't tell you, because for a while what I was doing there was disabling mobile data and only enabling it and then disabling it when I was out, because what was happening when my Wi-Fi went down, I didn't know the Wi-Fi was down. And if you're streaming a video, there was 1 month where I burned up all my mobile data in a few hours because I was watching YouTube videos, and I didn't know the Wi-Fi was down because it didn't warn you that the Wi-Fi was down, and then it just ate up all my data. And I brought this up with Virgin. I was like, listen, I've burnt up all my data, but the only reason I've burnt it up is because your Wi-Fi has been down, your network has been down. But they gave me the classic, you'll need to speak to them, and then the other department says, no, you'll need to speak to them, and you're like, right, okay, so I'm screwed. You'd think by having the same company for a home internet connection and a mobile internet connection would be fine, but no, that's not how it works. Never understand why it does that. See, like with I've got a Google search bar up there. I've got like a Google widget, and every now and then it just disappears for no reason at all. I don't know why, but it just disappears. Right, I'll check battery usage and I'll see. Right, okay. I'm saying that problem with my battery has been fixed, but I'm not sure if it is. You can see it's at 19% there. So when the battery was really, really bad, it was at like 55, 60%. And now it's saying 19% just now. Now, that would suggest that you have like one bar, and what the phone's trying to do is get a stronger internet connection, so it has to use more power. But I mean, you should be able to see that I've got a full signal. I've got a great signal at home. So why would that be so high? I don't understand why that would be so high. Don't know. Don't know. Android's weird sometimes with things like that, isn't it? So what you guys been up to anyway? What's been happening? If you look online, Evo, with regards to Android Oreo battery problem, if you search for that, there's quite a lot of people with this problem. Like basically they updated their phone and it went okay. It went from being okay to, you know, the battery was draining like twice as quick the next day. Seems like a common problem, and a few people say the same as me, that it just kind of worked itself out after a few weeks. I don't know, I need to track mines to see what's happening. I still think that it's draining too quickly. I don't know. I mean, I do use my phone a lot. I'm checking it a lot and things like that, but it's a little bit annoying. The other option would be to downgrade the firmware, but I think you can do it. But from what I've seen online, there can be problems with that as well, because you've updated certain things in your phone, like your apps and things like that. And the only someone actually sent me an email the other day about this. One of my subscribers, and they sent a message just saying the best way to fix all these problems is to do a firmware reset, to do a complete firmware reset. And they said that's because, you know, when you're doing an update, some things just get messed about during the upgrade and it causes problems just because it, you know, the update process. It kind of makes sense. But as far as resetting my phone, it's a severe pain in the ass. It's not just because of the it's not just the apps. You know, Google syncs all the apps back to your phone. You can rearrange them and all that. That's okay. As far as photos and all that, that's all synced. But there's a few things that are just there's a pain. I've not had to do a factory reset in the last 5 years unless I've had a second phone. I've bought a new phone and I can transfer everything over. But there's a few things that's a little bit of a pain. For example, my banking app. I did this once where I sold my phone, I reset it, and then I bought a new phone, and I had to wait like 2 weeks for the bank to send out another code because you need to transfer it at the time. It's the same with some other things as well, as far as authenticating a phone for a bank app, and there's a few other things as far as that. I don't think Google Authenticator has that problem. I don't know. But the reason I'm saying this is, if I was going to do a factory reset, ideally what I'd like to do is wait a month or two, wait to get my new phone, buy a new phone, and then once I've transferred everything over and I know that everything is transferred over okay, then what I can do is factory reset and downgrade or do whatever, and I don't have to worry too much about it. I mean, I wouldn't want to sell that phone to anyone if I knew there was a major battery problem. I'm really going to have to stop eating these when I'm online. The thing is, I spoke to HTC, sent me a tweet which basically sent me to the FAQ page, and then they just said contact us through their forum, and their forum just sends you back to their FAQ page. Carphone Warehouse, to their credit, did come back to me. Hey Hugh, Carphone Warehouse did tweet back to me when I sent a tweet, but what they said was bring it in for repair. You'll have to reset it and back up before you do so, but it could be up to 28 days, but we try and do it within 14 days. And I said to them, I was like, listen, I can't be a month without a phone. And they said, well, in certain circumstances we can give you a very basic phone. I'm like, well, I can't take a basic phone either. The reason I buy an expensive phone is because I use the camera for recording. I use all these other apps as well. That's the one thing I would say about Amazon, is if you buy a phone or you buy anything expensive, if you have any major problems, the battery died or some sort of software problem within a year, Amazon, you just send it back. You don't have these, months and months to handle repairs and all that. But for some reason, Amazon really seems to be the best place to buy a phone, and never seems to be the best place to get, price wise, unless you're buying a low or mid-range phone. Yeah, you were saying that, Lewis. What did trading standards say? I must admit, like, what you said has put me off a little bit from using them, because going from what they said to me on from what they said to me on Twitter, they just, I mean, this is the thing, I complain a lot. If you follow me on Twitter, a lot of my tweets are complaints, because I mean, I'm not a huge social media guy, but like, I do go into Twitter a lot, and I'll use it to complain about a company that's messing me around. And it's really surprising how much a company can mess you about for 2 or 3 weeks. They don't help you, and then you send a tweet, and then it gets the ball rolling because they don't want negative PR. Hi Christian. No, my ZBook hasn't had the battery recalled. Is that a thing? I didn't know that was a thing. What happened? I mean, it's not something I've seen on the news. What monkey video are you talking about, Hugh? Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know there's been a recall. But what, did they just send you out a new battery? Is that what they do? Is there a news story about that? I'll need to search for that. So what's that? ZBook. Oh, Hugh. Yeah. Yes, I don't know what you're talking about there, Hugh. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that was quite interesting. I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't like animals being held in, for experiments and things like that, but I do find it quite fascinating, a lot of the tests they do with those things, in as far as money and exchanges. There's lots of basically the video that I retweeted on Twitter that Hugh's talking about, there was two monkeys. I think one was given grapes and one was given a cucumber, and they had to give them a coin. It was like a stone or something to the scientist, and they gave one a grape and they gave the other a cucumber, and then they gave the other one a grape, and then when he didn't give the same to the other one, he just threw the cucumber back at the scientist, and then he started shaking, and then he gave the other one a grape and he did the same, and he just threw it, and he was going bananas because he wasn't being paid fairly. And it's quite fascinating that he's not happy because he can see that guy is getting more. There's been lots of experiments like that before in the past where where they set up some sort of kind of money system with peanuts or whatever, and then after a while you find some of them have more than others, and then like some of the women were offering sex for money and all these other things. Just, it's weird how this little society develops just from peanuts or monkeys. This, I suppose that's where we get it from. A utility for HP to check the battery. Right, okay, I'll check that out. Thanks for letting me know, Christian. I mean, I wouldn't want to send it away until I get a battery sent back. So is that for the G3 as well? What Christian's talking about, I've got the ZBook Studio G3 laptop, and by the looks of it, there has been a recall. Yep, Studio G3. They should cease use of affected batteries immediately. Well, I mean, I use that laptop quite a lot still. I use it downstairs at night time, so I wouldn't be wanting to send that back until they send me a replacement. So what are they doing? Did you send yours away, or did they send you one first, then you send the other one back, or what? Sorry, Lewis was catching up with something there. So, Lewis has been messed around by HTC. They told me to send a written letter with photographic evidence of them promising to repair a device. Right, okay. I didn't send an email with 5 screenshots via email. This is one of the things, so you send an email detailing every single thing wrong with it, and then they'll send you an auto reply, and then, I mean, so where does that leave you, Lewis? Okay, Christian, thanks for letting me know. I mean, I'm definitely not sending the battery back until I get a replacement. Yeah, I'm just going to get a tech. I'll get a tech to come to my house and replace it then. I'll do that, because I don't want to go weeks without using my laptop. I can't do that. They actually had a tech guy come up to my house 3 times because the motherboard was broken, then they couldn't fix anything, and then the second guy who was fixing the motherboard actually chipped all the laptop. And I said, listen, this is brand new, and I asked them to come out, and they had to replace the chassis. Well, that's the thing. People always talk about Apple's customer service. I've only had to deal with Apple's customer service once, and they were terrible. My iPhone 4 stopped working for 4 or 5 months when I was in South America, and they kept saying, sorry. I was like, listen, I bought this SIM free. They're like, no, you bought this on a contract, so we've locked it. I was like, listen, I bought it SIM free. Send the receipt. No. And then after 6 months or 4 or 5 months, or whatever it was, of me doing this, they sent me an email saying, and you know, phone calls as well, and they sent me an email saying, oh yeah, it looks like you did buy it SIM free. Like, I did. I know I bought it from the shop. And they sent me a 99 cents token for a song, which I never used because I told them beforehand I don't use iTunes. I know a lot of people say that Apple's, you know, customer service is good, but my only dealings with them was negative. Well, I've got a problem now with my laptop, Christian. It's like a page file error, so it's coming up the blue screen whenever I load it up. But I didn't think that was related to the battery or the laptop, but it could be. Maybe it is a BIOS issue or something. I don't know. I hadn't really, because I've been busy, I haven't really looked into it. Ah, okay. Okay, Lewis, so send a letter to them. Send a letter to them, and yeah, it's a pain in the ass doing that. That's why these companies do that. They know how easy it is to send an email, and they know how you know, they know it's a pain to send a letter. But I've been in this position a few times with companies, and I've sent them a letter, and I've did it recorded delivery, and they've signed for it, and then they've never replied. That happened with Virgin a few years ago because of a different issue. So it's kind of, you're screwed over. Yeah, Evo, 99 cents. I've probably still got it in my Apple account somewhere. I don't think I ever used it. Lots of phone calls. I remember making a complaint about it as well, and they just sent me one of those email loops. I was like, listen, I'm not, like, you've took away my phone for 4 or 5 months. I couldn't use this as a phone. And they gave me a $1 back. I bought that phone, £600 cash, walked in, debit card, boom, bought the phone, and that's how I get treated. So, I mean, I love the iPhone 4. I did love the phone. But as far as customer service goes, I mean, it's one of those things. I mean, a lot of people's opinions on a company are, you know, it's all based on your experience with them. I would disagree with that, Hugh. I don't think the MacBooks are the best laptops out there by far. I would think they're severely overpriced. Severely overpriced. If you look at the specifications out there, it's insane how much they're charging for it. Insane. They're charging a couple of grand for a dual-core CPU. That's like, basically, for a couple of grand, my laptop, my HP laptop was £900. It was a quad-core CPU, which means that I can do video encoding. The new MacBooks, there's not even I don't think there's even a quad core there, and some of them are thousands of pounds for a dual core, and you can't encode video. You can't encode 1080p video with that. The same criticism would go to the Microsoft Surface range. Great looking laptops, but for the price, they just aren't worth it. They just aren't worth it. I don't know. I mean, I look at it as, yes, I want something slim. Yes, I want something, you know, portable and light, but functionality has to be key. Like I criticised HP ZBook when I first got it because of problems, but it's got 2 Thunderbolt 3 ports. It's got 3 USB 3.0 ports, Ethernet port and all that. And the new MacBooks, everything you need to do to use it, you need to use an adapter. So if you need to connect a large hub to your laptop, it's no longer portable because now you're carrying 2 different things. Windows laptops are rubbish. They slow down massively. Sorry, Hugh, that isn't true. It really isn't true. Up until about a year ago, for about 5-6 years, no, in fact longer than that, about 7-8 years, I used an Apple iMac, a 27-inch iMac, every single day for work. And I used Mac OS, I used OS X, and then at night time I would use my laptop, and that was Windows. And my laptop, my Lenovo laptop, the X220, had a similar CPU, and performance was always the same for most of the time, but at the end the Mac was much slower. This myth that Mac OS is more efficient and all that, it just isn't true. Might have been true at one point, but it isn't. I switched between Mac and Windows every single day for several years. And it's not just that. Like, see when I get into YouTube, there was lots of things in Windows that were just a click of a button. You know, you just clicked a button. For example, recording certain things. Like, say when I'm streaming a game and I need to capture the audio from my desktop, it is literally like one click of a button on OBS or on Windows. On Mac, what you have to do is download all this software, and then you need to capture it separately. And it's like all these complications for things that they just work on Windows. I'm not saying OS X is bad though. I'm just saying that it's a myth that I don't know why Apple users think this is the case. I was an Apple user, and I used you have to use both systems a lot to see what works and what doesn't. But basically, both systems have kind of converged. Yeah, maybe it was true at the one point, but saying Windows laptops are rubbish and they slow down massively, that simply isn't true. I've had probably over 10 Windows laptops, maybe more than that in fact, probably over a dozen. I've had portable ones, I've had large ones, and I've had I've had to update my friends' MacBooks because they didn't know how to do it, and they were so slow you couldn't even use them. Granted, they were a few years old yet enough. I'm not saying I wouldn't buy a MacBook either, just they're vastly overpriced. If you can, Lewis, I would tweet them as well. If you tweet them on Twitter, I'll retweet it as well. See if that helps. Try and get a phone call. Ask to speak to the manager. It's a pain in the ass with these things, it really is. But sometimes you're fighting a losing battle, but you need to do that. What's your thoughts on this? Like, I'm not disagreeing with the sake of just for disagreeing with you, Hugh, but I think I really don't subscribe to this, you know, that Windows isn't efficient and OS X is efficient. Windows 10 is a really efficient operating system. It's funny though, I remember that, you know, see when you go somewhere and you're quite clued up, you don't get screwed over. So, cars, for example. I don't know too much about cars, if I'm honest. I like, you know, talking about cars with my friends, but I don't really know too much about it. And, you know, if you're a mechanic, you can go somewhere and you know if you're getting screwed over. And it's the same with me if I go into, like, Curry's. And I remember when I was helping my mum and dad buy a PC years ago, and the guy started coming out and he said, I think it was Windows 7, and he was like, no, you need, I think he was saying you needed 8 gig of RAM at the time. I was like, that's not true. He's like, no, it is, you need 8 gigabyte of RAM, so that doesn't work, or it won't work well. And I was like, so you're saying that isn't worth... He's like, no, I'm not saying it doesn't work. I'm not saying it doesn't work. I'm just saying it'd be better to get more. I was like, but you're saying it doesn't work with Windows. He's like, oh, well, work will be sluggish. I was like, and I said to him, I was like, listen, I've got a laptop in the house at 2 gigabyte of RAM and it's running Windows fine. I was like, Windows is only using half a gig. So explain to me why you're telling them they need 8 gigabytes. He's like, oh, right, you know about computers? All right, sorry. And you're like... I think with regards to Cortana, well, I've never used Cortana, but I've never used Alexa or Siri or anything like that anyway either. I just find them more, I actually find them more time consuming to do something than it is, you know, to just type something in. Hugh was saying there that Windows is better in terms of productivity because there's more better third party applications. Mac OS is quite limited. When I first started doing videos with Mac OS, with a Mac, I was using ScreenFlow to record videos, and ScreenFlow was only available for Mac, so it was really good for doing screen recordings and things like that. It was a really kind of idiot-friendly way of producing videos, but it wasn't available in Windows, and that's why I tried Premiere Pro, and whenever I've had my Mac and my Windows, because I was always switching between them, I always opted for programs that were cross-platform. So I used FileZilla for uploading files to my websites. I used TextPad for editing files. Well, a text editor, it doesn't really matter what you use. I use Premiere Pro. So basically, when I was switching between systems, I wasn't switching apps. I was just, the OS was different, but the apps were the same. So I would say Windows does have better support for third-party applications, though, as far as, you know, across the board. Gaming obviously has better support on Windows. But I would say, in defense of Mac, though, there's a lot of design applications, there's a lot of video editing applications that are only available on Mac, because there's a lot of people, you know, creative people that only use Macs. Then there's a lot of apps that are only available on Mac as well. So it depends what you want to do. It depends what you want to do. I think Microsoft have been trying to kind of pull that crowd away from Apple with the Microsoft Surface range, with the, you know, the big monitor that goes up and down and all that. Hold on now. I just realised how warm my room was because I closed that door. Yeah, so I mean, I don't think, as far as the MacBook Pro goes, in fact, let's look at this. Let's look at this logically. Let's look at this logically. So, Apple.com, HomePod. Never heard of that. What is this? Oh, this is going to be this will be tackling Amazon's speaker thing, isn't it? Yeah, I did read something about this the other week. Okay, as far as the Mac goes, right. So, say a MacBook Pro. Tech specs. So, what are we going for? Which size? Say we go for 15-inch. What does this one have? Does this have a... Right, so the 15-inch has quad-core. But look at those prices. Oh, in fact, I'm on the... I'll go to the Apple UK website just so I can compare it UK-wise. So the MacBook Pro... Like if you we'll take the 13-inch for example. Right, so the 13-inch you can't get a quad core. So in my opinion, and this goes to the Microsoft Surface range as well, MacBooks have turbo boosts. All Intel CPUs have turbo boosts. That isn't a MacBook thing. Turbo boost is just going for a quad core that's got turbo. It means it's got more threads, and then it like my CPU, my 8700K, if I show you, this is the thing with Amazon, with Apple. Apple will try and tell you, Apple will try and tell you that they've got things that are exclusive to them. They don't. Right, Task Manager. Right, so this is my Task Manager. This is exactly what's happening on my PC live as we speak. And if you look at the CPU here, it's got 3.7 gigahertz, right? So that's the base speed. But it also has turbo up to 4.7. And you can see the speed of it right now is 4.18. So my 8700K, the base speed is 3.7. But it can jump up to 4.7 with turbo boost when needed. You can overclock it as well and go up to like 5 gigahertz and all that as well. I generally don't need to do that though. But you're talking about turbo boosts. That's what you're talking about, and that isn't exclusive to Mac. That's just Intel. That's just a CPU. But Apple computers are very reliable. For example, the Surface Books break after 1 year. MacBooks last 3-4. That doesn't. That's where are you? What are you basing this on? Surface Books break after 1 year. MacBooks last 3 to 4 years. Does MacBooks that break after? I suspect if you look at the breakdown rates of MacBooks against Lenovo's or HP's, Apple might be slightly better, but you're talking about, you know, a 7% versus 8% breakdown rate. It's not like, well, send us a report, Hugh. Post a report and I'll have a look at it. Right. So here's the thing. I like small and sexy laptops, but nearly $2,000 for a CPU that is dual core, which means it can't do video. And connectivity, you get one Thunderbolt, that's good. USB 3.1, that's good. So let's get 4 Thunderbolts. So connectivity is a little bit better there. A little bit basic in this one. You get 4 here. So 2 of these are Thunderbolt, and 2 of them are USB 3.1, but they're still Type C. So you don't have a normal Type A USB port. I don't have a major problem with that, but it does mean that you probably will need to use adapters. But the 1249 will get you 128 gigabytes by the looks of it, and 8 gigabytes of RAM. £2,000, like, look at this, right? £1,949 gets you 8 gigabytes of RAM and a laptop and a dual-core CPU. Sorry, you can't defend that. That's way too expensive. Way too expensive. You just, I don't know. Maybe I'm different. I just cannot justify that cost. It really is too high. The 15-inch ones have got quad-core, a Radeon Pro 560. It's a very old, you know, it's... I think if you're talking about specifications and power and all that, you know, Apple's never going to win. They always overcharge for it. They make beautiful... If money isn't any object, but what I'm saying is there's definitely, without a doubt, there are cheaper, better value laptops out there. Oh, that sucks, Lewis. Search on, what do you call the developer forums for mobiles? What's the name of that forum again? You know the forum I'm talking about? XDA. Thanks, Christian. That's the one I was thinking about. XDA forums. You'll sometimes find custom ROMs, but you also find people posting a lot of solutions there to common problems. Yeah, yeah, you're right, Evo as well. XDA. So yeah, see the thing with Apple, I'm not saying that they're bad. I just think they're way overpriced for what they are. They really are overpriced. I'm not saying they're not sexy. I'm not saying the screens aren't good. I'm not saying that they can't be used. But there's certain things they just can't do. And when you're looking at... If you look at it spec for spec, there's a lot of alternatives out there. The same... But nearly all the criticism I'm pointing towards Apple here, as far as price goes, I would point them to Microsoft as well. The Surface range, for me, just isn't worth it. It really isn't worth it. It's just not worth the money. I don't think it is. Okay, so I found a report. Hugh was saying there that consumer reports say that Apples are very reliable. Surface breaks down after 1 year. MacBooks last for 3-4 years before you encounter any issues. And I don't agree with that. I don't know where you got it from. Don't get me wrong, Microsoft had a lot of teething problems. But if you look at that, this is from 2017. It's a year old written off this report. Go away, I don't want your notifications. So apparently, I don't know where they've based this on, but they've got a report here. They've got Lenovo first, then they've got Asus, then they've got Dell, then they've got HP, then they've got Acer, then they've got Apple, then you've got MSI, Razer, Samsung, Microsoft. So you're right about Microsoft, but Apple there, by the looks of it, are quite low down the list. Lower than Acer, and I consider Acer to be a crap brand, because I had an Acer laptop once and it was garbage. So this is the year-to-year rankings. If you look at Apple's... Well, by the looks of it, Apple was top for quite a few years, but they've dropped down there. I don't know where... I don't know where they're basing this on, though, where the actual... Where they're basing this as far as reports go. I don't know. This is the thing. It is ZNet. It is ZNet. Apple MacBook still the most reliable. See, what's the point in make? Like, I don't understand this loyalty to brands. Do you know what I mean? For no reason at all. Alright, I'll search for that anyway. I'll search for that. I would say, and from all the laptops I've owned, I would say that the Lenovo one that I had, the X220, I would say that the guarantee was really good because they fixed things really quickly. ZNet laptop To their credit with Microsoft, see when the kickstand of my Microsoft Surface Pro 4, the kickstand broke, and they picked it up and sent me a replacement within 4 or 5 days. I think it was 5 days at most, maybe, so like 4 working days. And they replaced it. They replaced that within 5 days. So I can't, although my Microsoft Surface Pro broke, yeah, Microsoft sorted it very, very quickly. I would say though, I think Microsoft only offers, I think Microsoft only offer 1 year guarantee, which I think for a laptop is ridiculous because of the money, you know, they cost. There's an article here I found. There's an article here. I clicked on it, but I just clicked back. See, I don't like this autoplay video thing. That's bad. Like, don't autoplay videos. This is saying Apple was the... I hate when they autoplay videos. Among the top laptop brands, Apple's broken or not working as well. Percentage of 17. Other brands, Samsung. Right, where's this from? Where's this report? This is a problem. See, even the same with the last article as well. Where are they getting these figures? I don't know if this just annoys me more because I do a lot of writing for a living, but whenever you make any claim, you need to link to the source of where you found it out. A lot of these websites just say stuff and they don't link to the source. Right, so where's this based off? There, Consumer Reports. Right, okay. So they reviewed 83,000 readers, shared their experiences with computers. Apple was the most reliable. Okay, fair enough. That I would say though that not to discount that, that's still relevant, but I would say that I think you need to actually look at return rates from, say, Amazon or something as far as laptops and computers go. Laptop repair rate. Where's... I don't know why I still use Google. Google is a terrible search engine now. It really is terrible. As far as providing relevant results. It's really went downhill. See, this is coming up. Laptop repairs. PC repair. PC reliability. Maybe that makes more sense. Why does it show me results from 2013? 2010? Why you show me these? 2005? Why is that relevant? You always have to put in the any time and put in like over the past year. Yeah, the Consumer Reports definitely seem to be saying that Apple are the best here based on the Consumer Reports. Microsoft 25%. Samsung 16%. Do most reliable desktop brands, laptop brands, which reliably is this what? Oh god, is this one of those ones that you don't see any information unless you subscribe? That's such a cheeky way. That's such a cheeky way to try and get you to upgrade. Well, Consumer Reports definitely say Apple the best. That's for what. Yeah, paywall. Yeah, it's quite annoying, isn't it? Not that I don't agree with them. It's just the way that they've shown you some of the information, not all. Consumer Reports definitely saying Apple the best. But for me, I still don't think it's worth that premium, especially if you buy from Amazon or whatever. You know, as far as PCs go, as far as a specification point of view, $2,000 for any laptop that is only dual core and is only 8GB of RAM is insane. Same problem with Microsoft Surface. I've said that before. I don't know, what did it say on the HTC U11? Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of laptop Consumer Reports. Computer Reports. I'm trying to see. So much crap online. See, trying to find anything that's relevant. Consumer Reports isn't something I've actually looked at before. As far as that website, Consumer Reports, it's not. Consumer Reports, product reviews. Is this an American thing or is it British as well? Consumer Reports. Just because I saw when it come up in dollars. Laptops. Yeah, it's in dollars, the one I'm looking at. Must be a UK one. I don't know. I mean, I think Apple products, laptops are good looking. They're battery life. Are you talking about the HTC U11 or? Hi Ryan, welcome to the stream. I was going to say the show. Welcome to the stream. Is that for the laptop or for battery life? Oh, HTC U11. What did they say about it? Did they say it was poor or? That's the thing. Like, I'm not an Apple hater. I think they make good products. I just think for the price, you know, if I was going out there to buy a laptop today, and I looked at, you know, 6 or 7 different laptops, and maybe look at the Apple one and go, wow, that's dead sexy and all that, but it's not like Apple are the only company doing sexy phones, sexy laptops. You know, back in the day, Sony was well ahead of the pack. Sony was always ahead of the pack as far as cool laptops. I had the Sony Vaio, V-A-I-O, Vaio, I don't know how you pronounce that. Video, audio, in, out, that's what it stood for. Sony was always ahead of the game, but then they pulled out the laptop market. But yeah, if I'm looking at, say, 10 laptops, Samsung have nearly always got a thin one out, HP and all that as well. And if you look at the prices of these products, I mean, is it really worth paying 40-50% premium just so that you get an Apple laptop? To me, it's not worth it. I think, was that I was talking about earlier, the Vaio P? That was the little 5-inch one, wasn't it? What me and Evo were talking about. This was one of them. I used to always love things like this from Japan. Sony were always ahead of the game. And a lot of these kind of ones. The other one I was thinking was at the, I don't know if you can remember, was it the TX? Was it the T or something series, or the little tiny one? The TX? No, it was a T. I had the TX myself actually. What was it? There was one that was a 5-inch. A T. I can't. The problem is that Sony released that many laptops. There was one that was like a little 5-inch laptop. I think, does Samsung not have a couple of premium laptops? That I know they've got a couple of premium tablets. I don't know. I mean, as I said, if I was just looking at 10 laptops, if I was looking at what I was getting for my money, I wouldn't get a MacBook basically based on specs. What I would probably lean towards would be probably a Dell, actually. And I know they're not always the great for returns and all that as well. A lot of people say they aren't. But just to give you a kind of comparison, pick Dell for example, laptop. If you look at the XPS, so look, XPS 13, right? So spec for price for price, right? Two 13-inch laptops, right? 1249, 1249. So what are we getting? How's this comparing? CPU. Where's the CPU? Processor. It doesn't even tell me the processor. Why would it not tell me the processor? It just says dual core. And what generation? Tell me. Why wouldn't you tell me what CPU that is? I hate that. That's so annoying. Why wouldn't it tell me what CPU that is? Like, so here we can see, right, i5, right? 8250U. So this is the ULV version, which means it's the ultra low voltage one, which means it burns less, but it's got longer battery life, doesn't use as many watts. You can power it, I think it's 15 watts. So that's an i5, and it's the 8th generation. That's what that means. This one is an i5, 2.3 gigahertz. I don't think that's 8th generation. I think that's 7th or 6th. I think that's 7th. They've not got the 8250. So I think that's a generation before. That's 8 gigabyte of RAM, 256. Intel UHD graphics. That's 1080p. 2 Thunderbolts. They're actually quite similar prices, isn't they? Well, they seem to be. 8 gigabyte, Windows 10. Am I wrong? Is that actually not that different in price? In features? 128. This one's got 256. Which here costs more. I think it's just the CPU that's the main difference there. Integrated graphics, 640, 650. Yeah, without knowing the other CPU, there's not as much difference as I thought it would be, actually. Yeah, I thought that'd be more. But you can see here, this one's 1400, 256. It's hard to compare them because it seems to be storage. That's the main difference here. The Apple's definitely more expensive. You can see there's 1749. But at the lower end, there isn't a huge difference in price, actually. Or maybe I'm wrong here. Maybe it's different with the 15-inch one. (15-inch) 2349. Quad core i7. I think that's the 7th generation or 6th generation. This one's 7th, 7300 HQ. Yeah, the 15-inch laptops, the Dells are much, much cheaper. Like, very significantly. 8 gig, 8 gig, 16, 16. Those have all got 16. Good luck, Lewis. Hope it goes okay. Yeah, well, see, as far as this is the thing, like, I hate that's one of my major kind of annoyances with Apple. I don't know if you'd go as far as saying it's a complaint, but I don't like how, like, see if you're trying to look at the specs of a new Apple iPhone or a new Apple iPad, and you're trying to compare like for like. With Windows, with Android, you can just look at the actual CPU or the specs and you can go, okay, this is exactly what it's got. With this, they will, like, why aren't they telling you what CPU you're getting here? Is there any reason to hide the CPU? Because if I see the CPU, I can then go and look at it. I can then check, okay, does that CPU work well with video? That kind of thing. I just find that a little bit annoying. But yeah, there's a lot of brands like Dell that are trying to position. They're all trying to have a premium range. It's happening in the phone world as well. As far as ports go, yeah, Apple are crap with ports. Microsoft with a Surface range is doing the same thing as far as limiting ports. I don't know. I mean, there comes a point where having something really slim and thin. I mean, it depends what you're using it for. If you just want something that is slim and portable, then make it as thin as possible. Use a wireless mouse, use or whatever. But if you want it as your main PC, this is where problems become. You know, because if you've only got one Type C port, if you only get two Type C ports or whatever, you need to use an adapter. And then when you start adding adapters, that's when you're carrying around a lot of accessories. I would say, I think, well, that's good that you're leaning towards that, Hugh. I think the Dell XPS 15 is probably the nicest kind of premium laptop around at the moment as far as price point and features. If I was buying another laptop, that's probably one of the ones I would look at first. I quite like Lenovo laptops as well, though. I quite like Lenovo's. I like the Yoga ones are quite cool. As far as a thin, sexy laptop, you know, it flips over and all that. Oh, there's someone I need to ban. Report. Why? I don't understand why would someone come on and say those kind of things. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, my HP ZBook G3, well, by the sounds of what Christian was saying, I'm going to have to return it. But I don't really see any benefit of upgrading it. I'm quite happy with it. It's not the thinnest, it's not the most powerful, but it's still fairly powerful. It can do live streaming on YouTube, like this. It can do, what else can it do? It can pretty much do everything that I need it to do. How's that? Yeah, I removed them. I don't understand what is the point of that. Well, Hugh, that's one of the reasons why I don't see me upgrading now. How the hell? I've just banned that guy and he keeps popping up. Yeah, I've seen that. I don't know how he keeps. I don't know how. Hold on. I need to go to the guy's thing and ban him. I've blocked him. I don't know how he was doing that and still coming up. I don't know if that's an app or something. Having trouble. Yeah. I don't know what's going on with that guy. How can he do that? Listen, I blocked this guy and he keeps popping up. How's that? If you guys can still see that, let me know. I'm not sure. I don't know how it's done. I'm just doing it through YouTube's one. But the actual user has been blocked. So if the user's blocked, I don't know. Harassment. That's weird. How the weird thing is, Evo, every video, every message you were posting there was coming up show or hide, as if you were saying something bad. Gay Jesus, so how are you people doing on this lovely Christian server? What does that even mean? What does that even mean? Hi Ed, good to see you on the channel. It's funny dealing with YouTube spammers. No, my computer's fine. It's not. It's not a computer issue. It's something YouTube's end. Yeah. But what you were saying there about the MacBook, that's you know, his last one had a CD drive, SD card slot, 2 USB, Thunderbolt, Ethernet, headphone jack. That's what my HP ZBook's got. My HP ZBook Studio's got 3 USB, 1 Ethernet, 1 headphone jack, power, 2 Thunderbolt 3 ports as well. Headphone jack, I think I covered that. How I don't understand how this happened. We seem to be being attacked by spammers here. The MagSafe. Yeah, why did they remove that? Well, is that because they charge now with is that because they charge now with the Thunderbolt port? Yeah, there was one guy who was just, well, I think there's one or two because I blocked them. They come on spamming and I blocked their video and then they were just downvoting my videos. It's not something I really worry about. It's not something I can really care about. That's pretty cool. You can use a battery pack. I suppose if it's through Type-C, you could charge it that way. I mean, if it's only drawing 15 watts. I mean, I never had MagSafe, so I didn't really miss it. You know, I didn't have it to miss. That's kind of weird. See, I suspect, see when you get to, like, you know, once you're a successful channel, I suspect there'll be a lot of spammers that turn up. It's probably just spam bots. Like, see, you get software that just, maybe, like it says there's 10 watching. I imagine there's a script out there and it goes to live streams, but it only goes to live streams that have got over X amount of viewers, 5, 6, 10, whatever it is. And when that happens, they'll just send bots. But I just don't see what is the... I never understand a lot of these bots. What's the actual point? If they're not posting links, maybe I can understand if they posted a link, but if they're just harassing people, what's the point of them? No, you'd be surprised with the bots what they type. A lot of it is just, you know, just a series of garbage. It's just, and then they'll just pick a statement and they'll send it out. I've dealt with this. I've dealt with spam for years on blog comments and on forums. You know, it's just software, and the problem is so bad it can actually kill a forum. In fact, with one of my forums, I had, you know, I tried every single anti-spam script available. None of them worked because there was always some getting through. So what I had to do, I've got manual acceptance for new members, and on my Rise forums one, what happens is you need to pay $10. So the easiest way to ban any spammer on a forum is to charge for registration, because spammers by their very nature won't pay to join somewhere. It's kind of weird though, guys. It's a little bit strange. I mean, Apple's falling behind if you need this amount of dongles. It's one of those things. I think they've got it wrong with the ports. I mean, if it was up to me, every laptop would have like 4 or 5 USB ports, because I always end up connecting a lot of things, like microphones and cameras and all these other things. Oh, my seat just went. Where's the seat? There's that wasn't expected. I just don't think it's worth the premium. That's the thing. I like Apple. I like Apple products. I just don't think they're worth the money. That's all. It's not that I don't dislike them. You know, not any more or any less than any other company. And if an iPhone came out and the camera was miles ahead of the competition, I'd maybe pay that premium just to get the better camera and the better audio. Because ideally, if I want to get the phones to the point where you can stream and it's the same quality as a camera like that. It's to get you banned for having view bots. Ah, right, okay. You'd think they'd look at that though. You'd think they'd look at a channel and see, no, his videos are legit. Like, what is the point of view bots? I don't need view bots because I already have this channel monetized and things like that. You could be right though, Ed. I mean, this happens with websites as well. You get negative SEO, where a company, rather than trying to boost their own website's presence, they just spend it negatively affecting a rival's presence, putting bad links to them. I know, I've got loyal subscribers, I don't need view bots. To be honest, even when my channel was next to nothing, I've never paid a penny to get views or anything like that. I've never seen the point of it. You're not winning anything. Long term, real people are going to, I'd take one real subscriber over 1,000 fake views or 1,000 fake subscribers. Doesn't make any sense whatsoever. It's just one of those things. You get it in social media as well, people buying. You saw it a lot of celebrities. A lot of celebrities get caught and they found out once, they're like, oh, why did my account go from 1 million subscribers to like 40,000? Because you paid for all those people and they were all fake accounts. Yeah, it's one of those things. A lot of people just they put all their energy into the wrong thing. Fake Instagram followers. I mean, don't get me wrong, there are some benefits to it, as far as if you are trying to mislead someone. If you're trying to sell a website and you're trying to mislead them into what your stats are, then you could get view bots. But any experienced website trader would go, right, okay, where's the traffic coming from? Where's the incoming links? Where's all that kind of thing? They would look at where it's all coming from. By the end of the day, like, I mean, I've seen a lot. This is the thing. I think I'm definitely not a top tier YouTuber as far as experience and that goes. But yeah, I need more clickbait thumbnails. But one of the mistakes I see a lot of people making is that if you go into like YT Talk, that's a YouTube forum, you'll see a lot of people saying, "Oh, you subscribe to my channel, I'll subscribe to yours." In fact, if I go to my comments area, I always see things like, subscribe to my channel, I'll subscribe to yours. But a lot of the time they'll try and disguise it. They'll say, love your channel. They don't mention my name, despite the fact that being the name of my channel. And they say, love the channel. Please subscribe to my channel and I'll subscribe to yours. I'm like, I don't care. There's people who have got 10,000 subscribers and they have like 5% of the views I have, because most of their subscribers came from follow me, I'll follow you. Doesn't make you any extra money. It's just bragging rights almost. It's kind of pointless. There is, as far as what you're saying, Ed, as far as kids will subscribe to anyone if they have thousands or millions or other subs. I mean, the whole point of displaying the subscriber thing is social proof. That's the term for it. But basically what it means is, if I, say Evo earlier on, Evo said, check out tech tablets, check out tech tablets, and I could check one video, go, that's a good channel. I can see there's over 100,000 subscribers, and I go, that's a channel I want to subscribe with. Just based on 1 or 2 videos and the subscriber number, I can see this is a good channel, and I'll click subscribe. Now, if the guy, only had, say, 200 subscribers, I probably would have subscribed. But there is that social proof. The more subscribers you have, the more people see that as a demonstration of the quality of your channel. Kim Jong Un. Half the computers in this country are watching your channel. Hello, North Korea. I actually considered at one point going to North Korea when I was travelling. I spoke about it with a few people about going. Well, thank you for watching my channel, Kim Jong Un. You been to North Korea? One of my friends, I've not trained in jiu-jitsu for nearly a year now, but one of my friends from training that I used to train in 7 o'clock every morning, he went last year, David. He went to North Korea for a few weeks for a trip. Quite interesting. What, can you remember anything about it? When I spoke to one or two people that had been there when I was like traveling like 10, 15 years ago or something. Some people talked about it. And it was basically organised trips where basically you're just guided round like sheep, but you get pictures. Yeah, you can still go. One of my friends, Dave, he went last year. As far as how much hassle, I don't know. I wasn't training at the time, so I wasn't seeing him there at the time to ask questions. But if I checked his Twitter account, in fact, it was on his Facebook account, he was posting a lot of pictures about it. You know, I suspect he went through an agency of some kind. I don't know, but what I know is, as far as cheers Ed, see you later on. As far as what the spammers are who have been entertaining us today, I can hide their message, I can report them, I can block them, but they still seem to pop up. It's nothing to do with my. It's definitely nothing to do with my computer. My computer's, you know, there's no problems as far as that being secure or anything like that. It's a YouTube thing. This actually happened another video as well. Someone, what did they say? Someone came out and said this was a live stream I did a few weeks ago. And, I was playing a game, and I don't know if I just popped up. At first I thought maybe they were legit, you know, just youngsters, but then I think I realised it was bots or something. No, in fact, one of them was just someone being abusive. They come out and they said, "Hey you baldy a-hole," and I was like, I'm not bald, I shave. Yeah, some of them can be quite funny, and that's the thing. I mean, look how many. I don't have a huge number of subscribers on my channel. Can you imagine what it's like if you've got like 1 million subscribers? How much crap you need to do, you know, deal with when you do a live stream. It must get to the point where you just can't reply to comments. There will come that point where if you've got a live stream or a channel, it must be so hard to only allow the legitimate ones through. You can, I think, what you can do is manually approve comments. And that's not something I've done so far. You know, so you can hold a comment until you've manually approved them and said, right, oh, they're okay. But the problem is because obviously you want someone's comment to show right away when they post a video, when they post a comment. But again, I don't know what is the. I don't know. Maybe Ed's right. Maybe Ed was right there about how it's maybe just to negatively attack certain channels. It's kind of weird. I've seen this online with websites, and a lot of people, they'll spend more time doing negative things rather than just building up their channel. Like there was a discussion on YT Talk, and there was folk were saying, "Oh, you can buy views." Other people were saying, "Well, sub for sub, but you subscribe to my channel, I'll subscribe to yours," and all this kind of stuff. Right? Okay. But like what I've said to people in the past about these kind of things, whether it's websites or YouTube or Twitter or anything, it's like, why don't you spend all that time you're spending trying to get sub for sub and just produce a video or just produce an article or just produce something? It just doesn't make any sense that we spend all the time trying to cheat the system for a short-term game. It doesn't make any sense to me. Your comments have been hidden on Casey Nice Out channel. I suppose anyone could be banned or removed from any channel if a comment is taken the wrong way, or if, I don't know. What did you call him out for? Yeah, that's the thing. And you'll be surprised at what people's interests are. You could have the most obscure interest out there, but there will be someone out there somewhere who's got the same interest. And that's the great thing about it. CNN channel. Don't get me wrong though, like I'm not criticising Casey or any other YouTuber though, because I must admit, long term, I think I'll have a more, I won't say a tough stance, but I found myself in the past trying to be nice to someone who's been a dick to me, to put it bluntly. You know, someone will say something trolling, and then they'll say something bad, and I'm trying to like explain myself, and then I'm like, the guy's just trolling me. You know, just delete comment or report spam. Because you can waste a lot of your time doing, you know, handling that kind of thing. I've seen it before with people getting caught up in forums and things like that, and I must admit, I've had this in my blog. You know, someone will put a big abusive comment or statement or something racially. You know, I'm not someone that, I don't like racism or abuse or anything like that. People will post just the randomly racist stuff or whatever against someone else or me or someone else, and the best thing about it is they've just spent 20 minutes writing this rant, and you just go delete. Screw you. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. It's weird how some people though are just so angry on YouTube. They're just, I mean, are these people like this in real life? Are they really walking about all the time just like Cartman or something like that? Kind of bizarre. I don't know. Well, that, I mean, as far as political stuff, that's something I try and avoid on this channel, because it's something that really divides people. And I try and keep everything on technology and things like that. As far as politics goes, my basic view of politics is that every single politician is an a-hole. Every single last one of them. I think the last one I liked, the last proper politician I liked was I was going to say Nigel Benn, Tony Benn. Not Nigel Benn the boxer. But, I mean, Billy Connolly came out with the best statement about politics. He said that anyone who has the desire to be a politician should automatically have the right to be a politician removed, because it just attracts power-hungry, narcissistic sociopaths. No, it's okay, Hugh. It's just, I mean, I've been through that. I just don't like the kind of political stuff in my channel. But that's the thing, like, everyone's got a different, some people get really, I saw this with the whole Scotland independence thing. A lot of people were having really heated arguments. I had one or two with friends, you know, we were drinking, and then it just brings the worst out in people. And when you stand back, you're just like, my whole viewpoint on this is that the whole world is run by sociopaths at the top who just rule everyone else, divide and conquer. I hate the lot of them. And again, to come out with a Billy Connolly quote, they asked him about independence, and they said, are you for it or against it? And he says, it's not for me, I'm old. He says, but what I would say is that I've got more in common with a welder from Newcastle or Liverpool than I have with a really rich guy from the north of Scotland. And I think that's the thing. You know, people talk about race and religion and all these kind of things, but I think what connects most people is the struggle. You know, you get a billionaire in one room and a billionaire in another room, whether they're black, white, Chinese, whatever, they're going to have more in common with each other than anyone else. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't know. I think the older you get as well, you get more cynical about it all, because you've seen all the lies and all that kind of thing. So it's hard to get excited when someone comes through and says, "Oh, this guy's legit." But yeah, my opinion is that, you know, power corrupts. That's the end of the day. Power corrupts, and the people that are seeking power get corrupted very easily. Even look at, you know, people like Obama and all that as well. I bought his books. I thought he was actually going to make some difference in America, and then 8 years later, Guantanamo Bay is still open. Do you know what I mean? It's like, maybe it's the system that, you know, that's corrupt. Maybe it's the politicians. I don't know. Yeah, I know. I mean, well, the thing is as well, I mean, I don't like, I'm an atheist, so I mean, I don't believe in religion, but I grew up Catholic, and I was called names because I was Catholic by Protestants. Like, I've got my mum's Protestant, my dad's Catholic. I don't care what anyone is, but I grew up seeing the kind of ugly side of that religion. So it's not something I really care about, and it's not something I'd never want to bring up my kids religious, put it that way. Yeah, I mean, I think if you look at what's the fairest in the world, I think the Scandinavians have got it right as far as, you know, a fairer society, as far as high taxation, but that taxation goes to, you know, making sure the society is fairer. I'm all for that. But I'm not an expert on any of this, so yeah, enough about that. I know more about laptops and all that kind of stuff. I do. There are good people out there who understand all the kind of politics, and they are trying to do good things. But the problem is, it's their voices aren't heard because all the major media outlets and all that are owned, you know, by Murdoch, by Fox News, all these kind of. I don't know. As I said, I'm just cynical about it all. I've got no faith in any government at all. That's why I just try and focus on technology and games and things that matter. Gaming matters. Politics doesn't, because it's always going to be that way. It looks like our spammy friends have left. Where have they gone? I actually missed them now. Requiem for the American Dream. I've seen Requiem for a Dream. I've not seen the documentary. Yeah, but as Eva was saying, let's brush politics and religion aside, because it's the sort of thing it divides. Because I think everyone, like me and all the people on my channel, we're kind of together because we've got a similar interest, but undoubtedly we're going to have different opinions on politics, on religion and things like that. But I just think, yeah, I don't have a high opinion of anyone in that kind of, in the political world. Even the good ones are bad ones, put it that way. I've not really spoke about, I know I spoke about it a lot for a week or two. I've not really been speaking about the mining, say the mining Bitcoin kind of thing. I've just been doing it in the background. You know, everything's set up. It's one of those things, once everything's set up, you just have to tweak things, and, you know, but I'm quite knowledgeable now about how to set everything up. I'll maybe do a video tutorial about it once. It looks like the price of Bitcoin is going to go shoot up, though, because it's been accepted in the USA. I don't know if you guys saw that. Basically, there was a lot of negative stories coming out. That's the thing. I did a video about this on my other YouTube channel. And there was a lot of AI interview with Brian Cox. No, I've not seen that. I know who Brian Cox is. Obviously, the guy from D-Ream, that crap band from the 80s and 90s. No, he's a good scientist. The Bitcoin price, a lot of it was getting pushed down. There was a lot of negative press coming out because of, most of it was just rumors, but there was a regulation thing in America yesterday, and the guy came out supporting cryptocurrency and says that the US government has to support it and they need to develop it and all that. And it shot the price up today. But I mean, this is how the price is being influenced just now. Is fat, you know, it's all news, hearsay, but it's obviously influencing whether someone buys or sells Bitcoin. I see that I've only watched one or two of Brian Cox's things. I've seen I've mostly seen him in like talk shows and panel shows and things like that, rather than actual series. I don't have a TV license, and if anyone from BBC is watching this, can you please stop sending me 2 or 3 letters a month threatening me, going to say you're going to take me to court? I don't have an aerial. I don't watch BBC, so please stop trying to scare me. I watched one thing I did. Any of you guys got Netflix? I watched Altered Carbon this week. I blitzed that in like 2 days. I just blitzed that this week. I wasn't feeling well, so I didn't really do work the other day, so I just blitzed that in a day or so. It's quite good. It's like a sci-fi series on Netflix based on a book from 2002, I think it is. It's on YouTube, right? Well, as far as... This is the thing, I mean, this isn't a political thing, but I think it's something that is going to be a hot topic over the next 10, 15 years, certainly for people younger than me. But as far as jobs go, we're going to see a lot of jobs being taken away by robots, by not like Terminator robots, but you know what I mean, like robots, machines, automation, software, and all this kind of thing. And we're going to see a lot of change in how society works. So they're talking about like a minimum salary for people, you know, a basic salary and things like that, just for, you know, just for living, just to get along. But I think it's going to be interesting to see how society deals with that, because it's going to affect areas that you wouldn't have thought would be affected. So for like right now, 2018, you've probably seen it. Supermarkets, probably the best example. Supermarkets, you've seen a lot of people lose jobs because, you know, like the big Tesco near me, it's maybe got like 20 or whatever, you know, what do you call them, cashiers, where you put all your shopping. Someone puts your you're like with a little, I was going to say escalator. You put your products on it and it scrolls through. There's like 20 of them, but now you go in, there's only like 3 or 4 of them. And then what they've got is one person standing, and there's like 8 self-service machines. And you see this at airports, you see this in shops everywhere. And of course, you know, in the past, someone was working that job. So now someone doesn't have a job. They're not paying for the house, they're not paying the rent, and this all kind of filters through. This is a problem because what happens is you'll find the CEO of Tesco and all these big companies, because, you know, staff is their biggest expense because of self-service and all these kind of things. This means that they're reducing their total costs on well, human costs. You know, you're not going to have to pay money on pensions and sick pay and all these kind of things. You've just got a machine. If it breaks, you pay someone to fix the machine. So there's a lot of people losing work and things like that. But I saw an article the other day, and I thought, when society goes that way, where there's less jobs around, people need to find different things to do. I think it would be better if people work less hours and focused on different things, you know, creative things, learning a language, playing music, having fun, enjoying life without being stressed about money. I don't know if that's the way it's going to go, but yeah, jobs will change. This is the thing. Yeah, Eric Smith's right, jobs will change, but there's a lot of jobs that are going to be affected that you wouldn't think would be affected. Like, one of the biggest things they're talking about now is, you know, for example, what I do online, I'm moving away from it, but over the last few years, I've made a lot of money through writing on blogs, freelance writing, all that kind of thing. And you know, AI, as far as AI goes, as far as writing goes, it was always crap. You used to have content spinners, and what it would be is they'd put in an article, and, you know, so go back 10 years ago, right? I had a blog, right? Oh, that's good, Lewis. Keep us updated. Let us know what happened. So you go back 10, 12 years ago, I had a blog, right? And because my blog articles were going through in fact, longer than 10 years ago, 12 years ago, it would go through the RSS feed, and people would just copy those articles. And what they would do is they'd put my articles, they'd either copy them, sometimes they would rank higher, and Google fixed that so that the original source would be ranked the highest. And then you'd come out with content spinners. So we'd take an article, 1,000 words, and they'd spin it. So it's like changing, I don't know, changing mobile to phone or smartphone, you know, changing words, using a thesaurus and changing other words. Now, for sometimes that works out. Most of the time it didn't work because the article, when you read it, didn't make any sense. But it fooled Google, and these articles got ranked highly. Then Google tackled that, and that's when people started paying me a lot of money to write articles, because it wasn't just spun articles, like AI spun articles. They had to have legitimately good articles, and they started putting more emphasis on links in, shares, and all that kind of thing. But apparently, in the future, they're talking about AI, artificial intelligence, being good enough to pay, to write articles for BBC, for The Guardian, for CNN, and the AI software could be so good that it can report. You just put in roughly what's happened, they'll spin a long article about it. And that's, you know, I never thought that writing, you know, it's like the old thing they say about Shakespeare, you know, in an infinite universe, you know, monkeys can type Shakespeare. But you could actually, in the future, 20 years down the line or 15 years down the line, you could have AI writing books, which is madness. Absolute madness. That's good, Lewis. So they're going to let you know tomorrow what they're going to do with your phone. At the very least, you've got the ball rolling. Yeah, most definitely a call. See if I'll tell you good. If you've got an Android phone, I'll find an app for you. Where is it? Right, I'll see if I can find this app. Right, I'll find this on. You've got an Android phone, haven't you? I'll find it on the Play Store. See if I can get this app for you. Well, I'm asking if you got an Android phone. Of course it's an Android phone. It's an HTC phone. I think this is the one I've got. Yeah, I think that's it. Right. So Lewis, check out this. This is Call Recorder, and since I get screwed over by a few companies that would basically backtracking, I installed this app. It's Call Recorder. It will automatically record any calls going through your mobile, and this isn't for tracking your. I mean, I guess you could use it in a negative way, track your loved ones, all that kind of freaky stuff. But really, I never listen to them. But what I do is I record them, and it's basically for spam phone calls. It's for calls with my bank. It's for calls. I've had like my bank say they'll do things and then they haven't did so, and then they've said they've denied that they even offered to do it and things like that. And it actually happened with, who was it? Oh, in fact, see my laptop. See when, yeah, I recommend install it, and you can sync the clips, the audio recordings to Dropbox and things like that as well. Synchronize it to the cloud so it doesn't have to stay on your phone. I had it with my HP ZBook Studio, and they actually sent me money eventually, as compensation, because they messed me about for like 2 months solid with phone calls and all that, and they were so sorry, blah blah blah. But what they did was they kept promising, yeah, we'll phone you tomorrow, yeah, we'll be there Wednesday, and I phone up and say, well, I stayed in all day Wednesday, why weren't you there? No one would say we would be there. So I had the guy from HP outsourced the support to this company, and the guy kept saying, he's like, listen, I'm not calling you a liar, and then proceeds to call me a liar, and he says, listen, we would never tell you that we would come and collect it on Wednesday. I was like, well, you did. No, but we would never say that. I says, well, you did. He's like, well, we could argue this all day. I was like, well, let's not. How about I send you the recording? And I used the recording from this, and I was like, what's your email? And I sent him that, and I says, I've just emailed you, you can listen to it. And he's like, yeah, by the looks of it, we have told you that. I'm really sorry. I was like, well, can we go off the fact that I didn't lie about this and you guys keep giving me false promises? So there's been a few situations like that. And you know what it's like, you phone up, they'll say, oh, we would never say that, we would never say that. Every one of these start their phone calls, they start their phone calls with, you know, this phone call may be recorded, and they do it so that, you know, they've got it backed up. Yeah, so I just have it running in the background, and if I run into any situation like that where they're calling me a liar or they're making promises and then they back out of it, then when you actually complain about it or when you speak to someone, you can actually send them the call and you can say, listen, you promised me this. I actually had it with PayPal the other week. They promised me that the TV would be collected and all this, and they said, no, we wouldn't tell you that. And I was like, well, you did. No, we wouldn't tell you that. I was like, listen, the call's recorded. They went, all right, okay, we'll go and listen to it. Yeah, I know it's the thing is. I mean, it's annoying as well because I never make up wild accusations whenever even when I'm dealing with a company that I don't like and I'm pissed off at them. I don't make any wild accusations. I just stick to the facts. But these companies will lie. They'll give you false promises and things like that. I just have it running in the background. I never look to it, and I think I've got it to automatically delete after a certain amount of time. It doesn't use a lot of space or anything like that, you know, to save it. It's just a failsafe. It's a failsafe for... No, you don't use it to a call. You just let it... Set it up. You go into the settings area. In fact, I'll show you. Like, it'll just show you all the calls that you've had. But you can go in and change the settings. So turn on automatic recording. So it automatically records. You can choose where it syncs to. Mine's goes to Dropbox by the looks of it. Yeah, and there's filters and you can view. There's lots of things you can do. I don't know if there's a premium version. I've just got the... Yeah, there is a premium version. So the premium version, by the looks of it, is £4.49. I don't know what the difference is, whether it's worth upgrading. But to be honest, the free version does exactly what I want, so there's kind of no point. No, you don't have to. You don't have to press play. So you don't press play. You don't have to call the number and then just have it running in the background. It just works. And that's the first time I've actually accessed that app in like 6 months. It just does it in the background. Yeah, DPD, without a doubt, Hugh. DPD are the best, without a doubt. I used to think UPS are good because the guy that delivers locally with UPS around here, the guy is really good. Very friendly, always polite. But I called up at a delivery the other week and they couldn't tell me. They said there'll be any time between 8 and like 10 at night. I was like, listen, I work at home, but even I can't be at home all day long for that. And they couldn't give me a time. So I put a big A4 message on my door and stuck it with sellotape. My neighbours must have thought it was crazy. And I put my phone number and I said, call me if you arrive. And to his credit, the guy did. He phoned me. He's like, listen, I'll drop it off at the closest shop for you. And he dropped it at a shop just down the road. But DPD give you an hour window. They're fantastic. I can't fault DPD. But UPS are pretty poor. Amazon as well. You know, they don't tell you when they're coming. Although if you get it delivered at night time, it's between 6 and 10, so that's not too bad. So see with social media, I'm just looking at Twitter here, and see the whole point of Twitter and social media is you try and shape the content that you're looking at, whether it be the posts posted by people you like, your friends, just topics and interests that you follow. But because of retweeting, because of sharing, because everyone's got different interests, it doesn't matter what you do on Twitter or Facebook, your feed, you know, it just becomes crap. Just lots and lots of crap news stories. Some of them are relevant, most of them aren't, and it's just too much information overload, the stuff that you're not interested in. Yeah, I know. The thing is, if I could, I would just go out and buy stuff, you know, directly. But for certain things, like for example, there's certain things I'd prefer to buy from Amazon just from a returns point of view. And because when you go out to the shops, a lot of time they don't have it in stock and all that. It's just one of those things. I mean, it is amazing that we're in this time that we can get anything just delivered to the door. I mean, I can pay for Amazon and have stuff delivered that night. But the whole waiting around thing, Amazon they're completely ripping the a-hole out of their drivers though. My friend did it for a couple of months, and at the end I think he was borderline suicidal with how bad they were being treated. basically he says that at most you should be able to do like 80 deliveries a day, and they were pushing him to do like 150, 160 a day. And he said that it's initially it felt like, you know, it looked like it was going to be a good rate. I think it was like £100 per day. Is that? But when you worked out the actual hours they were working, it was below minimum wage. But Amazon get away with this because they're you know, they're outsourcing the work to another company. But I mean, this is what all the top companies do. You know, it's like Apple, Microsoft, all these companies, you know, paying slave labor in China. As what Louis C.K. says though, he says that you can be outraged about all these things, but he does a big skit about how, like, your phone, is that, would you rather pay more than that, or are you happy for someone to suffer at the other side of the world if it means that you can send an evil YouTube comment when you're on the toilet? And it's true, you know, I know that the people that made this phone, that actually putting the parts together, aren't paying well. But the fact is, I don't think there's anything in my house that's made by someone who's actually paid a decent living wage. What can you do? Like, see if you had to try and live ethically in today's society, you'd have to go and live in the woods. You couldn't buy anything. There is nothing around me in this room that wasn't made with people getting paid very little for, you know. And I realise people live on less money in different countries, but it's the way it's always been. It's capitalism. It's just the way it goes. Do you know what I mean? It's alright, that's the way it goes, especially in electronics. Outsourcing means paying people less money. I saw it myself as well. So, see, the largest blogs, you know, out there are paying the worst wages. They're paying borderline slave labour writing prices, where you'd have to work 15 hours a day just to make any kind of living wage. Well, the problem with the West is now that we're never going to become a sweatshop like China, like you said, or like India or Vietnam that produces lots of clothes or anything like that. We have all given up our manufacturing industries to abroad. We're like a service industry now. You know what I mean, as far as value goes, do you know what I mean? Like, do you think Britain's ever going to get its car industry back? That was, you know, 30 years ago was quite solid with Jaguar and Rover and all these other companies. Do you think we're ever going to get that back in the UK? I don't think so. It's one of those things. In the short term, the market might outsource to these other countries, but when China and India develop more, then how do we ever compete with them anymore? I don't know. I mean, I don't know the logistics of it all, but I think there's a lack of investment in the UK for. I think there should be more support for entrepreneurs. I think there should be more investment in developing new industries, technology and manufacturing and all that. There needs to be more investment and more support. I mean, I know forming companies myself in the past, there's next to no support. Certainly not good enough, you know, for investment. But this is the thing, you know, if by standing still you're going behind. But that's one of the, you know, the thing with like I was saying with the Bitcoin stuff and all that, is you kind of need to be at the forefront of it all because it's coming whether you want it or not. That's my view on it anyway. The problem with the British economy is we're specialists in high-end products, for example, Land Rover, Jaguar, Bentley, and financial services. Well, as someone that used to work in financial services, I would agree with that. Yeah. I mean, I think in the past though, I mean, I grew up next to steelworks. One of the largest steelworks in the UK was about 3 miles from my house, and it employed, I don't know, it seemed like a third of the whole area. And Thatcher closed it down. Decimated the whole area for a long time. And I don't know where the steel went. I don't know if they bought Chinese steel. I don't know if they moved it down south. I'm not sure. But I know that kind of manufacturing, like steel and all that kind of stuff, and other kind of technology manufacturing, you know, there simply isn't that much investment. I know, like, for example, there's like like maybe 20 years ago, there was a lot of televisions being made in Scotland. There was like Chunghwa, this big Chinese company, and basically they employed, I don't know if it was like 10,000 people for quite a few years, but basically they got super amazing grant money for like 5 years, and as soon as that money wasn't being paid, they just closed the factory and left. So without all these subsidies, a lot of these, you know, they were just going back to China or going back to wherever. Yeah, wage demands, I know. I mean, I don't know enough about it, if I'm honest. I think I'd get myself into a pickle and I'd look like an idiot if I tried to talk about all this. I don't really know a lot about the subject, if I'm honest. But, yeah. I mean, it is, how the next 20 years goes, I don't know. I mean, by that age, I'll be hoping, well, hopefully I'll be retired before then. But, yeah, I don't know. I don't know how that's going to go as far as the industry goes. But I'm going to call it a day at that, guys, because I'm starving. I need to eat. Thanks for watching. It's been good chatting, guys. I know we've been off topic again. I always start off talking about a few things about phones and technology, and then I just go off in wild tangents. I'm so dehydrated. See, because I've got a cold. See, talking is sore my throat. I'll try. I mean, I could always do a live stream later as far as a game goes. I need to do more game streaming. No, actually, once I made one big difference. See, when I hadn't closed my door earlier, my room got very warm very quickly. See, when my door is open, I've got my loft. See, that's what I keep misspeaking. My loft hatch is open. And it's actually really chilly in this room. It's really chilly because I don't have heating on upstairs, and down the stairs I've just got my fire on when I'm down the stairs. So it was tropical at first because I didn't have the loft hatch open, so the air was just circular around upstairs. It was so warm, it was like sweating sitting at the desk. But now it's actually quite cold, which is why I've still got my jumper on. When that door closes though, the air just circulates this room and it's still warm. But with the door open, the loft hatch open, all the heat goes up the stairs, goes up to the loft, and it goes through the roof. So yeah, so it's not that bad. I could honestly, the way the temperatures are just now, I reckon I could put like another 10 rigs in. I mean, I don't know from an electrical point of view, but temperature wise, I could put more computers in here and it wouldn't be a problem. I don't think I'm going to be looking at buying any more graphics cards, anything like that, for a few months. I need to clear the money and just store the cash that I've been investing. I've not actually cashed out any coins yet, but I've been just letting the money sit in my account. It's interesting though. I find I'm quite interested in it all. I'm thinking about maybe even doing a website about it, explain how all the resources and all that. I think it's quite interesting, the whole cryptocurrency thing. I like the whole technology side of it all, like the actual practical applications that we're going to see from this. And I think in the next few years we're going to see it being rolled out en masse. I spoke to my friend about this. It really comes down to the difficulty and the profitability. If the difficulty really dropped to the 1060s, I could maybe sell them at one point, but to be honest, I probably won't sell them in a year. No, I'm not. I haven't kept them there for display. I've actually been meaning to clear them. The reason I kept them there just now is because when I was building them, I was going in and out and going, oh, I forgot that cable, that kind of thing. I did it a lot with the power supplies. I was like, oh, I need to get that cable, I need to get that cable. So I was going in and out, but I probably need to at one point go up in my loft and set aside an area and just put all the boxes up there. I've just not got around to it. I've been lazy. When I was building it, I just stacked them all up, and I stacked them all up thinking, right, I'll keep them there in case anything goes wrong. I can return it and things like that. But I'll maybe just build any. I'll need to go up the loft and just put all the boxes up there. I'm not actually in need. I don't actually need that space. The graphics card boxes I haven't really needed, but the power supply boxes I found I was going back to them a lot because I was like, oh, I better change that cable and things like that. But as it stands just now, I mean, I haven't had to change anything on the rigs for weeks now. Nothing. It's all just set up. But I mean, the price of graphics cards are still crazy, so I'm just happy with them mining in the background. And then in the summer, you know, when the Volta cards come out, then I would maybe have to review it. At this point, I'm just looking at breaking even, you know, with the money. Well, that's the hope. Keep the coins until I break even, kind of thing. I don't know. I should have done it years ago. I'd be a very rich man if I did it when I first got into it. But I was kind of looked at it the wrong way after that. That oh, I've missed out. But I think you the same paint colour. This is like a creamy colour. It's like a beigey, creamy colour in the room. I've been in this house now. I honestly thought I'd been in this house for 2 years, and I've been in the house nearly 8 years, 7.5 years. It's true, but it's not true because I was travelling for a couple of years. So I lived here for a year, but less than a year later, I went travelling for 2 or 3 years. I don't even have any pictures up in the walls or anything like that. It needs a woman's touch, I think. This is my office, so it's just kind of practical. It's just I try and keep stuff close by, and sometimes that means that I tidy things up, but then it just gets all messy again. It's just what happens. I like the room to be practical in that regard. But a lot of the stuff, the boxes, you know, companies always ask for when you send things back, they always ask for the boxes, so I try and keep them. I've had, I'm sending my television back, and they actually said to me, "Can you send it back in the original packaging?" I'm like, well, one, the box was damaged when you sent it because it was refurbished, and two, the box was so big it wouldn't even fit in my loft, so no, I haven't kept it. But as far as selling the house, yeah, I'd like to maybe think about that in a couple of years. I need to get in a better position financially. I mean, long-term goals, I want to be making better money, because I've made less money in the last year or two, the last year especially, because all the time that I should be building websites and writing articles, I've been recording videos and things like that and try to do my YouTube channel. And I've spent a lot of money on the YouTube channel as well as far as equipment. I'm not talking about the rigs, I'm just talking about cameras and all these other things. But I enjoy it, and this is the thing, like, I try not to think too far in the future as far as for 5-10 years, but long term, I like to just keep doing what I'm doing. I'd like to make enough through YouTube, maybe through the mining, and maybe through my websites, where I don't work as much. I still make a good living, enough to maybe buy a bigger house, to get a nicer car and things like that. But I want to get to the best position where I can do that and have enough time to travel more and, you know, enjoy myself more. I don't put a lot of value. I know that maybe sounds stupid because I've got a lot of just crap lying about this room, but I don't put a lot of value on tangible things. I'd prefer to spend my money on travelling. What age are you, Hugh? An apprenticeship in software development? That's actually what I did at university. Well, I did a mathematics, statistics and finance degree. Oh, you're 20. I did a mathematics, statistics and finance degree, and then when I was 22, I did a post-grad, like a master's. I didn't do the master's, I left before the end. I got my diploma, post-grad diploma in software development. And then went right back into finance and did all my financial exams. But that, like, for quite a few years though, because I was doing all my financial exams, I was doing night school at night for Flash and Photoshop and all these things, and I was building websites every night. I was a zombie for a couple of years. But that's how I got involved online. That's how I started making money 20 years ago. All those moons ago. God, 20 years ago. God, I left uni in 1999. Put that in perspective. 1999 I left university. The first time anyway. And that's it. I've always thought about maybe going back to university. Like, my brother's a professor. I did okay at school. I got A's. But oh, don't talk about Wix. They owe me money. No, I don't do Wix stuff. I did what did I do? I did C++ when I did my first degree. Then I did Java the second time. I did some other things like Pascal, MATLAB, a few other mathematical languages. But I used to code websites myself in HTML and CSS, but when I moved to content management systems, so you don't really need to learn any of that. I just never... I should have gotten into coding a little bit earlier because I was good at it. Like when I did my postgrad, like my Java score, for example, was like 85, 90% in the test. It was pretty good. I found it quite easy because it was very like C++. But I didn't go down that route. I went down a different route. I was making money through affiliate marketing. I've always thought about going back to uni, but I don't know. I wouldn't know what to do. I'd like to do something like language or something like that. Best language to learn? I wouldn't even know how to answer that if I'm honest. I think start with something basic, HTML, CSS, then you can learn JavaScript and things like that. Like when I was at school, I learned basic in Comal when I was at high school, which is what a lot of the older systems in the 80s were based on. That's the thing, you're better learning whatever. There's certain languages, I think, if you learn them, they help you learn other languages more easily. If you pick like an object-oriented language. I'm not an expert coder or anything like that though. I used to have like a row of computing books, like 20 or 30 different computing books from all the years, like reference books for CSS, HTML, JavaScript. I gave them all to the charity shop, the local charity shop. Like, not that I do it for the pat in the back, but I gave about 5 boxes of books. Probably like I'd spent several £100s on books, and I gave them to the charity shop. And the woman didn't even say thank you. She just went, yeah, just put it over there. I was like, right, thanks, okay. Going back, see the thing is, I did a master degree because I didn't know what else to do, and you know, I got an A in like maths and physics and accounting, you know, kind of mathematical subjects. I did the course because I didn't know what to do. In hindsight, at this point in my life, I wish I either became a mechanic or a joiner, something practical, or I wish I just went to Spain for a few years and came back fluent in Spanish and learned a language, something that I think would have a practical, you know, use in my life. I'm not saying that my degree was a complete waste of time, but through what I've done in my career, it hasn't helped me at all. Maybe it opened some doors when I was going for jobs when I was younger, you know, proving that I wasn't an idiot. But it's one of those things, you know. The biggest thing at that age is knowing what you want to do with your life, you know. But I saw someone post about this online. It said, if you had all the money in the world, if you know, had £1 million and you didn't have to work, what would you do with your life? What would you do? And if you think of that and then think, okay, what would I do? Well, I'd love to do this, I'd love to do that. Well, then it'll give you an idea of what you'd like to do in life. Work backwards. I don't know, there's certain things that you won't make a lot of money from, you know, certain things, but I would say that if you can do something you enjoy, I mean, like YouTube's an example for me. I'm not, like, my channel, it doesn't even make £150 a month, put it that way. Doesn't make a lot of money, and I spend more than that on the channel a month. But I enjoy it, and I know that long term, if I can grow the channel a little bit more, if I get to the point where it makes a little bit of money, you can't live off £1 million for your whole life. It depends though. You could, if you're smart. It depends what you want to do though. Do you know what I mean? You could go over to Thailand and live for 12 grand a year and live quite comfortably. Do you know what I mean? Once you've bought your house, you know, if you buy a house for a couple of £100,000, not even just that, I'm not saying live off £1 million for the rest of your life. Thing is, I wouldn't want to do nothing. I'd want to do something. But once you've got that in the background, you've paid for your house, you've got your bills, you've got, you know what I mean, then what are you going to... You wouldn't have to spend 20 to 80 grand a year. I could be happy with 15 grand a year. Going, you know, it depends what you want. Do you need the most expensive car? Would you prefer to travel? It depends what you need. I don't know. I mean, I've got people... I know mates who make 3 times as much money as me, and yet they've got less money because they spend it all on expensive cars and all that kind of thing. So it depends how you budget things. But I don't think picking something software development would be a bad thing. I think it could help you. in the future, especially if you want to go down that route. When I was 20, I wanted to work in the gaming industry, and I went for an interview in Codemasters, and I tried to get into the gaming industry, but I couldn't get into it. It was too tough. And I was going against people that had computer science degrees, and I had a mathematics degree. But I went for an interview with Codemasters. In hindsight, I guess maybe if I just kept going on, maybe I could have found a way in. But it's one of those things. Right, I'm starving, so I'm going to go for my dinner. Thanks for watching, Hugh. Thanks for watching, Evo. Thanks for watching, everyone. Apologise for not remembering every single person who's going to... Too many people. But hopefully, Lewis, you get your phone sorted. I'm just looking back at some of the funny comments from all the spammers. I still don't understand what happened there. Right, guys, thanks for watching. I'll do some more videos this week. It's been good catching up. Once got to the assessment centre at Microsoft. That's good. That'd be a good job as well. Yeah, pleasure as always, guys. I'll try and do another stream this week, or another. Yeah, I'll try and do one this week at one point if I can get the time. I was trying to think what day it is. It's Wednesday, isn't it? Heads up my bum. Right, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you're all doing well. Best of luck, Lewis. I hope it all goes well. And I'll speak to you all very soon. Take care, guys. Cheers.